86 kilo class is packed as well. Not quite as many big names as the 78 kilo class, but there are more arm wrestlers in this one, so there's a lot to talk about. Let's get right into it. So first one I want to introduce, AHMAD ZAKI from Singapore. He's my teammate. 2023, currently he's ranked number 2 on the left and right arms on the 86 kilo class. He took second place last year at our nationals for both arms. ZAKI, up and coming guy, but personally having pulled him and having pulled other top 86 kilo pullers in the region, I don't feel like he's quite at that level yet to be able to do a terrible amount of damage in the 86 kilo class. So I wouldn't feel comfortable placing ZAKI any higher than maybe a mid-demon or so level for both arms. I think his left and right arms are pretty close. So I think personally I would put him at a mid-demon level. And that brings us to the next guy, who is also our teammate, Wayne Tay. So Wayne has beaten ZAKI before, and he's currently ranked 1 in Singapore for 86 kilo class. And recently he did pretty well in an overseas tournament at the OS Games. He was first place in the 85 kilo class for both left and right arms, but it was the novice class. So novice and pro, there's a bit of a discrepancy, even though he's had good overseas showing. I don't think Wayne is also at that level of the guys that are going to be doing a lot of damage in this class. But since he has beaten ZAKI, I think Wayne is deserving of at least a high demon to a low dragon sort of tier. Depending on the draw, he could be a low dragon or a high demon, but I think it's pretty safe that he's in that ballpark range. Next guy I want to introduce is TONI LINDSTRÖM from Finland. So he was the 2023 European left-handed 8th place and right-handed 4th place. And at the Worlds last year, he was 10th on the left, 8th on the right. So sort of better on the right so far. But at the Europeans in 2022, he was 2nd on the left and 5th on the right. So in this one, he did better on the left than the right. So maybe is it pretty much equal on the left and right? Depends on the draw. Not too sure. But yeah, since he has had pretty decent showings at the European level and an okay showing at the world level, I think it's safe to put TONI at the probably I would say his left, since he's gotten 2nd at Europeans, probably a high dragon, and the right maybe a mid dragon-ish tier. I think that's safe. Next guy, his teammate LASSE LUUKINEN. He was the 2023 European Masters 5th place on the left, and in the seniors he was 10th place on the right. And at the 2022 Euros, he was a 78 kilo puller, so this time he's coming up a class. He was the Masters 5th place and seniors 8th place. So he's only participated in seniors on the right hand, so I'm going to assume that it's because his right is stronger than his left. He's only pulled in Masters for the left arm. So for LASSE, I am going to put his right arm higher than the left. But because his showings haven't been that good, I think probably high demon for the right and mid demon-ish for the left should be a safe bet. Who knows? Next up, Japan, YUJIRO SHIMIZU. So this guy, pretty good accolades from him. 2021 Jawa left-handed rank number 1. In 2019, he was the All Japan 90 kilos, 2nd place on the left, 3rd place on the right. Pretty good showing because I know the level in Japan is actually quite high. And since he's able to do that well at the national level in Japan, I think this guy is probably at least deserving of a high dragon, maybe even a low god. But I think it's safer to say high dragon-ish tier. So just gonna put him, I think his left is stronger, so I might just put his left as a low god, right hand maybe a high dragon, and I'm also not putting him higher up because I know that he was competing in the 78 kilo class, so he's coming up a class for this. But for the next guy, unfortunately, his teammate Haruo Kawachi, there was no info I could find on him. Tried searching all the websites, nothing I could find. Don't even have a picture, so unfortunately, based off of that, I can't really give anything higher than a low demon, because there's just no information to go off of. Just gonna go on to the next guy, who is EFSTATHIOS IAKOVIDIS. I don't know how to pronounce that. Hope I didn't butcher it too badly. But he is a Greek puller. He was the 2022 Junior 18, third place on the left, second place on the right at the Worlds. So World Junior level, not too bad, but he is junior level this time, pulling in the seniors. So I think that there's a bit of a strength gap when it comes to juniors and seniors generally speaking. So for him, since he has podiumed, I'm not going to put him so low, but probably low dragon, I guess. Low dragon-ish. Since his left arm did worse, I think I'm going to put his left in the demon class, but on the right, just going to put him in the dragon. So yeah, next up, we have Bryan Fry. So Bryan Fry, he's 2023 ranked 6th on the left and 15th on the right. So big discrepancy between his left and right. His left is much better. He was an East versus West Northwestern qualifier, second on the left and second on the right. And at the IFA Nationals, he was first on both left and right arms in 2021. So actually pretty decent. So yeah, just gonna put him both over here, and we'll see how it goes from there. So moving on to our first person who is only pulling on the left hand, TOMASZ DURDA from Poland. He was the European 7th place on the left hand, and he was the 2nd place 3 years running at the Scenic Hand competition. So pretty decent left hand. 2nd place 3 years in a row at Scenic Hand is nothing to scoff at, but since he got 7th at Europeans, probably not super strong, but still pretty decent. So maybe a high dragon would be warranted for him, and no placing on him on the right hand because he's only going on left. So next up is Anders Carlsson. This guy is a Grandmasters competitor. At Worlds last year, he was 1st on the left and 2nd on the right. So pretty good placings on in the Grandmasters category, but of course it is Grandmasters after all, so probably a discrepancy, but don't want to disrespect the 1st and 2nd place finishes, so just gonna place him as a high dragon on both, just based off of his medal placing. Next up, we have a guy from India, HIMANSHU GAUR. He's the 2023 BCAI left-handed champion, and he's multiple-time national champion on the left hand. So this guy, left hand, really good. Couldn't find much information on his right hand, but I think it's still pretty decent as well. Just scrolling through his Instagram earlier during my research, I think maybe high dragon, low god on the left hand. I don't think his right is very threatening, so probably a low dragon on the right. High dragon. I'm just gonna say high dragon, and on the right it's probably low dragon, I guess. Hopefully that's accurate enough. Oh yeah, sorry, forgot. Skipped over one guy. MIKAEL LINDSTRÖM. So MIKAEL was 2022 Worlds left-handed 12th place. That was the only information I could find of him. Couldn't even find a picture. So he probably isn't really going to do that well. He's also only competing on the left arm. Not going to be placing him much higher than I would say high demon level, just because he has participated at Worlds. Just going to give him the respect and put him as a high demon for the left. Moving on, we have Kim TAEIN. So Kim TAEIN, some of you might have seen him from the Ryanbone videos. Was 2022 ranked number 2 on the left and right arms for 78 kilos, and this year he's coming up a weight class to the big boys in 86 kilos. Kim TAEIN, I've met him in person, pulled him before. I think he's a really strong guy, has a lot of medals on the regional level, national level, but I think he's still a 78 kilo level puller. So for His left hand and right hand, I know his right is stronger, so probably high dragon on the right and mid dragon on the left. But yeah, pretty hard to say exactly how he is in relation to the other guys, but I don't think he's at an 86 kilo level quite yet. Next up, we have the first Malaysian on the list, Muhammad Syahmi. No, so Syahmi is also only participating on the left arm. He was the 2023 national left-handed champion in 86 kilos, and he was also third place at Asians last year in the youth category. So this time he's participating in seniors as well, and only on the left hand. But Syahmi, having known him, having seen him in person as well, I also don't think he's at that level. Maybe a low dragon level threat or a high demon, probably a high demon level threat. Moving on to his teammate CHIA from Malaysia. This guy, probably one of the favorites for this category. 2023 national 95 kilo left and right champion and overall #1 for the left hand. 2022 Asian 95 kilo champion on the left hand. Right hand he was third, and current UAC light heavyweight champion. This guy has had multiple national titles over the past 10 years or so. Jake, super strong guy. I know him in person. He's a friend of mine, and just based off of the relation that, and just based off of him in relation to the other guys in the class, I think he is easily a god tier, high god tier threat compared to a lot of the other people on the list. And next up, we have his teammate and training partner HARITH, NAZMI. So NAZMI, also a friend of mine, met him in person before, a really nice guy, just behind Jake at the nationals this year at 95 kilos. He was second both on the left and right arm. NAZMI, not quite at that level. I know there's a big discrepancy between Jake and NAZMI's level. So I don't think NAZMI is really on the same level. Maybe a low to mid dragon, maybe a low dragon level threat on the left and right arms. Sorry NAZMI, but that's just how it is. That's the reality. And guys, from here on out, all the arm wrestlers are only competing on the right hand. Starting off with ISHAN KASHYAP from India. He was the 2022 Asians right-handed 5th place, and in 2023 he was the 1st place in the nationals for 86 kilos. Back in 2019 he was ranked 1 as well, and after doing some research he also had a couple more national titles on the right hand. So pretty strong guy at the national level in India, but when he came to Asians wasn't quite there. So probably deserving of maybe a mid dragon on the right, or mid to low dragon. Yeah, just gonna put him as a mid dragon just to be safe, because of his performance at Asia last year. Next up we have YASSER Arswad Abu from Malaysia as well. 2023 this year ranked number 3 at nationals, so ranked number 3 in Malaysia. Not exactly of super high caliber. I've seen him arm wrestle in person before, and I don't think he's really quite at that level yet. Probably a mid demon on the right, I think, is probably a good place to put him. Now moving on to Nathaniel Santoso from Indonesia. This guy, I couldn't find any information on him at all, sorry. No videos, only an Instagram account with pictures, but no pictures of him even arm wrestling. So just because of that, just gonna put him right at the bottom in the low demon tier, sorry. Next up, also another guy with no information, Praveen Urpeti from Nepal, also only on the right hand, and also going to be a low demon. And this is going to be the same story for the next guy, Ko Yu Chung from Taiwan. Couldn't find even a picture of him, so gonna have quite a lot of low demons in this tier list. But his teammate, the last guy on the list, Wei Zhen Tsai or Kevin Tsai from Taiwan, definitely not a low demon at all. He is the most decorated arm wrestler from Taiwan, multiple time overall champion on the right arm. 2022 Asian 105 kilo first in the right hand. Overall, number 2 at Asians. He had a 2018 Zloty 78 kilo placing, 11th out of 30 competitors that year. So insane accolades from this guy, multiple time champion in both national level and regional level championships. Kevin, 100% deserving of a high god tier in the men's 86 kilo tier list. Guys, so that was the 86 kilo tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed. Not as exciting as 78 kilos in my opinion. Maybe I'm biased because I'm in 78 kilos, but still probably going to be fun to watch. See you guys next time.